as I was saying, many people prefer comfort over success because success says you have to work for it. Comfort does not want to work. That's why you have to crucify your body and add more stress to it. Otherwise, your body would just want to sit there. Stress causes your body to adapt. Distress is bad stress. It breaks you down, and we're not breaking you down. We're building you up. We're applying good stress to you. So we are encouraging you to want success, royalty over comfort and underperformance. Okay? Underperformance, failure is not an option, guys. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, even though some of the things that we talk about in this platform may shock you or may make you question it, don't worry about that. Stay around, stay involved. I guarantee eventually you will have your crown. I guarantee it. You will have your crown. So, for all of the people who I may rub the wrong way, let me just say right now, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize and I'm sorry. But stick around and we're going to have our crown. I guarantee it. Okay? Now, I'm about to go in, and this is my first controversial statement, I think. I don't think I said anything that was too controversial so far, but this is the first one, and I'm gonna reveal this truth. And you're gonna want statistics. Well, this is not that show today. We're just test the people, your associates, on just any subject matter and see where your associates fall in these percentages. Okay? See where your group falls in the percentages. Like, don't go to church and then say, okay, well, I want to know who all believes in, this thing, this faith at the church. Well, it's at a church. So it's probably on many things, it's going to be a similar faith or a similar agreement. But if I said, okay, how many people believe that corporal punishment is necessary? You're going to have a wide range of, of beliefs. Although I only gave two choices, right? Either you believe in it or you don't. Trust me, people will make it, wide range. But that's the way it goes. So this is my first controversial statement. Most people are asleep. Everybody has an opinion, but 97% of people are asleep. So they're lukewarm. They only know but so much. You either have the totally sleep to the partially sleep. But sleep is sleep. Either way, you're not clear-minded. You're groggy or you're drowsy or you're halfway. You're kind of woke. You're not. Either you're woke or you're not. And I'm saying that 97% of the people are asleep. They're not woke. And now let me explain. 97% are inside of the matrix. The matrix is not the place you want to be in. The matrix is the place that says that you are controlled and you have low awareness and very limited power. You have low awareness, and that's the 97%. So let's say you're a person who makes $500,000. This is a good example. You make $500,000 annually, but you don't apply any of your resources to help uplift others. Something is wrong there. So while you will look at your salary or look at your finances, and you'll think you're woke. There's a disconnect into where you are, because not uplifting someone else leaves you in isolation. If you're strong or rich all by yourself, even though some societies and some people tell you that that's a good thing, it's not a good thing. You're alone. And if should something go down where you need other people, who are you going to be with? You isolated yourself. And that's a lot of people in the society. I'm saying that 97% of people are asleep. They have low to no influence and low to no power. Sleep. So rather you're the person who has absolutely nothing to the person that has what appears to be something. If you're not connected to resolution to problems, if you can't meet needs or solve problems, then that means you're asleep. What's the difference between you and the man who is at zero, entry level, who doesn't get it? You're just a person who's now at a higher level who still don't seem to get it. I have the perfect example for that. Let's take the NFL hiring of minority coaches. The NFL hiring of minority coaches. 97% of the people don't know how to apply anything to overturn wanting those numbers to go up. Now, let me explain. 97% of people in the world will bitch and complain about you're not hiring minorities. You're not hiring minorities. Like affirmative action. And I agree that there should be affirmative action laws in place. However, this is my point where the 97%ers stop at. And that's why they're in the 97%. You're not hiring us. You're not employing enough of us. More of us need to own teams in the NFL. But who has taken the steps to doing so? And don't say Bryant Gumbel or the other gentleman. The point is that's isolated. You're alone. And that's where many failing or underperforming communities get tripped up at. They do things in isolation, never working together. Never working together. And that's the biggest problem that you have. And that's the biggest problem that this platform is going to overcome. We're working together. We're not trying to do this alone. The nonprofit organization that I founded, the United Leadership Alliance, we're about collaboration. Pre-existing entities, programs, and groups, we want to work with you. We want to be connected to that highway that can get us around the world, or at least around the country. But if you're just a street all by itself, you can't do anything but drive on your street, and that's it. We need us connected to other roads so that we can travel abroad, share our risk, share the reward, and expand much better, much faster. Okay? So that's the 97%ers. Complaining about minority coaches not being hired, but don't see the thing that's in their hand that will allow them to partner, collaborate with other like-minded people to make this change happen. Hire more coaches. Well, how about you buy your own team? So the 97%ers will stay there talking about what other people need to do for them as opposed to what they can do for them. 97%. There's a disconnect in the mind. So rather you're the man with zero or the man with much. Sleep is sleep. Because the same way the man with zero is saying, They need to hire more minorities. The man with something is still in there saying the same thing. We see them on television all the time, giving their opinions about coaches that didn't get hired, and the enemy with Kansas City, and Flores with Miami, and blah, 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 and all these people. And yeah, but yet they will not collaborate to solve their own problems. And they're going to tell their kids to go and be resourceful. Too selfish, too bullheaded in isolation to solve their own problems. All of the people who you see, all of our big stars that have big money, doing big things, buying 500 Papa John's and 300 wing stops and all these McDonald's, always doing it by themselves. Don't see the big picture. They're also a part of the 97 percenters or the 2 percenters. And I'll explain what the 2 percenters are. Still a part, so sad, not willing to work together to do something more expansive that could really flip their community upside down. Don't see it. They're a part of the 97%. That's why oftentimes they lose the little bit they had, trying to salvage and save the little bit that they had. Okay? Now that's the 97 percenters. They're inside of the matrix. They're being controlled like puppets. The 1 percenters are controlling everything they do. Not the 2 percenters. The 2 percenters, they're woke, but they don't have the power to control. The 1 percenters are the ones who's controlling the 97 percenters like clockwork. They're the puppeteers. The 2 percenters, they're very woke. The 2 percenters are cutting the string. They cut the strings and they escape the matrix. But the 2 percenters are just not trying to get noticed. They're outside of the matrix and they know that they don't belong. And the 1 percenters damn sure know they don't belong. And the 1 percenters are so controlling and threatening, and they will do their control is so important to them that rules, ethics, those things don't apply to them. And they'll almost do anything to maintain it. That faith and that human decency that I talked about, that I have, the 1 percenters, oh no, they do not have that. They do not have that. They don't have that human decency. Many of them, most of them. No, they don't. They'll throw food away before they give it to you. Okay, so that's that. The 97 percenters are inside of the matrix. They think they're woke, but they're sleep. They're very sleep, and they're being controlled like puppets. The 2 percenters, I'm a 2 percenter. A 2 percenter is out of the matrix. They're very aware. They're very woke. They have low to average power, and they have some influence. The 2 percenters, they're very aware. They're outside of the matrix. Their awareness allowed them to escape the matrix and the controls of the 1 percenters. They have average to low power and average to low influence. The 97 percenters don't like 2 percenters. It's very difficult for the 2 percenters who are woke to communicate with the 97 percenters. 97 percenters think they're crazy, but the 97 percenters are inside of the matrix being controlled. They're comfortable in their controlling. They'll never sacrifice for the ultimate good unless they graduate to a 2%er. Now, the 2%ers, they don't have the power to make change, but they have some influence. They have some power to affect some change. But the big changes that matter, they don't have the power to do that. They don't have the influence to do that. And now, who do the 2%ers have to pull up into their ranks? Because the 2%ers will have nothing, just like the 97%ers, they'll have nothing but freedom. They're free from the matrix, but it will not, they don't have enough power or influence to change the negative circumstances and the negative movements that's overtaken 99% of society. The 97%ers and the 2%ers, you're coupled because you're coupled together because the 1%ers are controlling it all, but the 2%ers are controlled much less because they're outside of the matrix. Now, let me refer back to our NFL minority hiring again so I can give you a better idea of what it is. The 97% are the players and the cheerleaders and the staff, custodians, field guys, those guys, the referees. The 2%ers are the coaches. The coaches don't know what's going on in those owners' meetings because they're not there. The coaches are the 2%ers. They're privy to much more information than the 97%ers, but they do not know what those backdoor deals are. For some reason, Bill Belichick knew. He sent the wrong message to the wrong Brian, and that's what caused this controversy that gave the people in the 97% energy to jump on another time wasting platform. He gave them something else to jump on. But until that happened, they weren't involved in anything to overturn what they knew was a problem. They were just there playing and there coaching and didn't raise awareness. Kaepernick, well, Kaepernick did. And some of his Malcolm Jenkins and Anquan Bolden, those guys, they were still 97%ers, but then they got woke. They jumped out of it and graduated to 2%ers because it was like, yo, we're not going to be comfortable in that position. And I love the fact that they did it. So it worked out. So they graduated from 97%ers to 2%ers. Now, and eventually, those guys have the finances to become 1%ers on a higher, well, 2%ers on a higher scale because they do have some resources. They do have some influence that people could listen to them, but they need to partner with the people who's on their level. Get other players to partner with you so you can do bigger things, but don't just stay there. And this is the big problem with the stars or so-called stars of certain communities. They think there's something that they're not. They will never, and this shows their intention. If they will not partner with someone who's under them financially or under their influence or under their name, something is wrong. That shows you that they're elitists, they're classes, they're elitists, and they think they're somewhere. But little do they know, and this is the difference between them and me, is I realize that everybody is necessary. Everybody can bring something to the table. In fact, everyone has to. There's absolutely no way that you're going to have enough revenue to change the whole game. If you take every NBA player, every NFL player, baseball player and couple their monies together, that's still not as much money as the general population. Excuse me. Those $1 trillion that's spent, athletics don't make that much. That's just a small piece of it. Okay. So then now you understand what the 2%ers are. The 97 sleep or droggy, but just not coherent. The 2%ers, very woke, just don't have the revenue or the influence to make the necessary changes. But the 2%ers are trying to fish the 97%ers out. The 97%ers, like in that concept of the crab in a bucket concept, the 97%ers are trying to pull the 2%ers back. Like, oh, they don't like the 2%ers. The 97%ers hate the 2%ers. They're pulling them down. Like, come back down here and rock with us. But the 2%ers are out of the matrix, trying to pull them out of the matrix. Like, yo, you're being played. Come out of the matrix. Okay. In the last group, I've talked about them throughout, the 1%ers. The 1%ers are outside of the matrix too. The 1%ers control the matrix. The 1%ers have high awareness. They're very woke. They know what's going on. They know the world is a farce. The things that we strongly believe in, they know that those things can be changed. The Constitution says this, but yet we wrote something in it that nullifies that. Yeah, you're liberated, you're free, but guess what? We have codes, we have vagrancy laws, we have redlining, we have all those things to, we have amendments that say, well, if you go to prison, you still can be considered, a slave. So it's just the 1%ers, they are cutthroat. But this is the problem. The 97%ers are always talking about what the 1%ers need to do for them. The 1%ers are not going to do anything for you. The 1%ers they're going to keep their influence. They're going to keep their power. They're going to keep their leverage. They're not helping you hurt them. They've maintained their control at all times. So the 97%ers asking the 1%ers to like help us, hire more of us. The 97%, you're 97%. You can pool your resources, start your own league, pool your resources, plant your own team, but they're not resourceful. They don't solve their own problems. They need somebody else to come and solve theirs.